Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. Today, let's take a look at 10 new features coming to iPadOS 15. MACMOST is brought to you thanks to a great group of more than 1,000 supporters. Go to MACMOST.com/Patreon. There you could read more about the Patreon campaign, join us, and get exclusive content and course discounts. So there are a lot of new and exciting things coming to the iPad with the iPadOS 15 update, which will come out this fall. In the meantime, here are 10 new features I think are important using the first beta. So you can see here right away the home screen looks different, and that's because widgets are now allowed on the home screen as an integrated part of the grid here with all the other icons. You can easily add new widgets by tapping and holding anywhere on the screen where there's not another icon. Then tap the plus button there. It looks a lot like doing it in iOS 14 on the iPhone, of course, but we have more room here for things. So let's add a stock widget right here. And you can see I could flip through various different versions of it, add the widget. And now you can see how the widgets mix in with the icons. And I could drag the widget around and put it somewhere else, like here at the bottom right hand corner. And tap the Done button and I've added the widget. So this allows for some extreme customization of your iPad's home screens, adding information to them as well as just ways to launch apps. Now there's also new multitasking functionality. You actually can do the same things that you did before, but it's much easier just by adding one tiny little interface element. For instance, let's go into Safari here and let's say I want to multitask. Instead of having to do complicated gestures that are hard to get right, I can just use this little button here at the top. Just tap that and it gives me a control here. You can see I'm already in the regular full screen mode, but I can go to split view or slide over. So split view will just move it off to the side and allow me to choose another app. I'll choose clock here and you can see now I'm in split view and I have the multitasking control at the top of each one of these windows. So for instance, if I want to take Safari back to the regular view, I could do that right here without having to use any gestures at all. There's also something called center window. So let me go into split view and I will choose mail. And let's say I want to view this email message. Now I can tap it and view it right here. But let's say I wanted to keep the list open. I could tap and hold here and then select open a new window. And I get center view. So now I can see the email message here without making either one of these two go away. And I could tap here to do various things. Here you can see I'm in center view with this, but I could put this message and slide over, split view, or something else. Another thing you could do is use shelf, which is kind of like switching between documents inside of the same app. And here you can see the shelf here at the bottom, my current app, a button for a new window, and you can keep adding new windows here. So it's like having multiple windows in the same app. Another way to use multitasking is to use the app switcher. So you swipe up from the bottom to get to the app switcher just like before. So let's say I wanted to create a split view between two apps that I see here. I can tap and drag one app to another just like that. Put it on either side and drop it there and you can see it creates the split view there. I don't even have to go directly to that screen right now. I can create it and now that it's there I could tap it to go to that split view. We also now have the app library, which is something that was added to the iPhone last year, and now we can have it on the iPad as well. You just go to your last screen and swipe one more over and the app library is your last screen there. So this groups everything together by the categories that they are in the App Store, and you can either tap on the last item there to go into it, or you could tap on one of the 3 most frequently used apps in that category. You could also tap here to search, but this also gives you an alphabetical list. You have an additional way to get to the app library on the iPad. Instead of having to swipe over to the last screen, it's always there in the dock. Just tap it there and it comes right up. And the cool thing about the app library is it means you don't have to have all of your apps on a home screen. You can select an app and then remove app and it gives you the choice to delete the app like before or just remove it from the home screen. So you still have the app, but now you access it through the app library instead of on a home screen. A feature that's common between the iPhone, the Mac, and iPadOS 15 is Quick Notes. This allows you to add a note that links to content in an app like Safari. So for instance you could be at a Safari page here and you can add a quick note. This will be in the Notes app but it's tied to this page here. So one way to do it would be, for instance, to select some text and then you could see New Quick Note there. But you could also use your Apple Pencil to do this. just drag up from the bottom right corner to add a quick note. And the great thing about quick notes is they are linked to that page. So if I were to add some text here and then dismiss the quick note for this page will remain there. If I return to this page later on, I see the quick note there at the bottom right hand corner and I can tap it to bring it up. So it's remembering context here. This note's associated with this web page and I can continue to make notes on different web pages and they'll be associated with those pages. Another great new feature that's across all platforms is the focus feature. And if you bring up Control Center here, you see that Do Not Disturb is now focus. So you have your regular Do Not Disturb mode, but you can create your own Do Not Disturb modes. Like I created one for filming here. And it gives you ones for personal and work all ready to go, or you could add your own. And that takes you into the Settings app and you can create something based on a certain preset, or you can create a custom one. You can give it a name, assign an icon to it, select which people are allowed to contact you when you are in this mode. Also decide which apps are allowed to send notifications when you're in this mode. Decide whether or not time sensitive things are allowed through. And then when you're done here it gives you a summary of everything and you can go back in and add or remove people, apps, change the settings for this particular mode. Go to other options like saying which home screens are allowed when you're in this mode. So for instance if you have a home screen that has all games on it, that could be hidden when you're in this mode. And you can have it activate at certain specific times. So here I can have it start at a specific time or when I'm in a location like work, or maybe when I'm working in a specific app it automatically goes to this mode. So in Safari you've got the same changes to the top here as you have on the Mac. Tabs are now integrated in with the address bar. So you can see tabs and the address bar are one and the same and you could add many of those. And then also you've got the new tab groups here. So you could add a new tab group or a tab group from the tabs that you already are viewing right now. Another new feature in Safari is you can now add extensions just like you can on the Mac. So when you go to Safari settings you can go to extensions here and see what extensions you've got and also add more extensions. It seems like most extensions right now are involved with content blocking, but I'm sure there'll be some others that developers will create as well. So those are 10 new features, but I want to show you a bonus one. The Translate app is now on the iPad and it's really cool. You can of course type some text or paste text in and have it translate to another language. But you could also speak and have it hear your text and then automatically translate to that language. What I really like though is the conversation mode. You switch to that and now you can have a conversation with somebody else with your iPad translating back and forth between you. Which way to the train station?
Par où se rendre à la gare?
And even have this face-to-face mode which allows you to hold your iPad between you and another person and then you see things in your language and they see things in their language. So there are a few things that are coming to iPadOS 15 in the fall. Here's a list of which iPads will be compatible with iPadOS 15 from Apple's site. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, click the thumbs up button below to let me know. I publish new tutorials each weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out.